Hey guys, it's Inferno, and today I'll be talking about Persona 5 Strikers and some of the things you should consider when playing the game when it releases in February. So, it's like a new video from me, so I'm gonna keep it like short pretty much because I don't want to like drag it out. So, I hope you enjoy. Also to add, the gameplay and stuff that you see in the background is from the Japanese version, obviously, because that's technically the only version that's out at the moment. So yeah, translation might be slightly off, but it's nothing too major. But regardless, I hope you enjoyed the video. So on today's first topic, we'll be talking about the bond system and some of the abilities that come with it. The bond system is a new feature that has been added into the game, which gives many benefits for the Phantom Thieves in game and also giving the user a better experience overall when playing the game for the first time. Leveling up the bond system is done by going through the story, doing requests, beating enhanced bosses on the map. This has come at a later time, the normal mob battles, or in some cases on a certain map, you can pick up an item off the floor and it will contribute to leveling up your bond. Once you have leveled up your bond, you'll be allocated points, which then can be distributed to different abilities. Some of them won't be available straight away. Some of them will be locked behind request, or you just need to progress through the story even more. And here some of them are like HP, the usual HP, SP, attack, magic, defense, all that stuff. But then you got other ones that increase your showtime, the mask appearance rate, and plenty more. So I'll leave a picture or something on the screen so you can just see. So now I'm going to talk about the bond abilities and which ones you should get and which ones you should kind of prioritize during your playthrough and stuff. So the first one is called Wild Sense, which increases the drop rate for Persona Mask when you defeat mobs of enemies and stuff. And this is great for collecting persona that you can't fuse yet or you haven't seen, leveling up your personas with persona points, which I'll discuss later on. It gives you money, experience, so it's very great. Another skill that you should consider getting is the Counter-Strike skill. I don't know if it'll be called that in English, but basically what this skill allows you to do is to do a last minute dodge on an enemy's attack and hit them with your gun. This is very useful, and when it's upgraded to the fullest, it will basically do automatically for you when you do a last minute dodge. However, this skill is only unlocked after you cleared the second jail in the game. Another skill that you should consider getting is the SP strike. What this skill basically allows you to do is recover SP when you do a one more attack, which is very useful in this game as SP management in this game could be slightly tedious, but not as bad as other Persona games I should say. But it's definitely one skill that I recommend getting early on. The fourth skill that you should consider getting is Sneak Attack. So this skill will be very, very useful in your playthrough. All you have to do is ambush an enemy and it will recover some HP for you, and as long as you can continue to upgrade this ability, you will recover even more HP whenever you ambush an enemy. One final skill that you should consider getting is the support recovery skill. So if you played other Persona games, Futaba, Fuka, or Urize, or how you pronounce her name, basically at some points in the battle they'll give you attack, defense, speed, all of that stuff, HP, SP. It works similar in this game for Futaba. From time to time she'll give you some sort of buffs, or mainly HP and SP is what you're more or less after really, but that is one skill I say you should consider investing in as well, especially on risky mode, because that mode, well, you just have to wait and find out for that mode. So now I'm going to talk about the XP system and fusion system in Persona 5 Strikers. It's not too hard to understand. You pretty much beat up enemies, you gain XP. However, your inactive members, they will not gain the same amount. So you'll see from time to time that, your four main characters that you play with, they're always the same level as Joker. However, your inactive ones will probably be like 5-6 levels behind, which is not too bad, but it can be a bit of a hassle sometimes in some places, but that just depends on whoever's playing really. Now, in terms of leveling up your persona, this is slightly different in this game, as you have a feature called persona points, and persona points are obtained by doing fusions or sacrificing your personas in the Velvet Room or collecting persona marks from enemies that you beat up during the game. And these points can be used to level up your persona or level up their stats. So if you wanted to say Jack Frost of 99, you can use these persona points to do that, which makes it much easier compared to previous games in my opinion. Which is why I said the bond skill, which increases the drop rate for mask, is quite good, because this can easily help with gaining persona points in the future. So with the roster size in the game, there are bound to be people that you just don't use at all throughout the whole game, and you just never look at them pretty much, which is what I've done. However, if you do want to use them, you're going to realize that you're still using the basic abilities that they've had since, the beginning of the game, which kind of caught me off guard. However, in this game, you can adjust what abilities your teammates have. So say for example, you wanted Ryuji with all the Zeo moves, you can easily do that in this game. For Anne, if you want all the Agi moves, you can do that. So the game allows you to mix and match what abilities to have. You can easily do this by going to the persona menu and then clicking on the character's name, and then basically from there just pick which moves you want to use. Moves won't get deleted in this game compared to previous games. So you'll still have Agi, Agilio, Agideen, all of that stuff, so you can just mix and match whenever, and I think that's a great change in my opinion. So that's one thing to be careful of when playing the game. So buying equipment in this game unlocks after Sophia joins the party. Each item has its own inventory, so it's easy to navigate and not too hard to get lost, and it shows the number of items that can be bought, which are limited though, but they do restock once you finish, say, a gel infiltration or something. More items do become available once you progress through the story, and sometimes limited items can be stocked during parts of the game. Another banned ability that ties into this is the Smart Shopper, which will give discounts in the shop and will continue to give even more discounts when you continue to raise the level of this banned skill. Now, some items in this game are only available on New Game Plus, and a little hint for the game, there's one part of the game where basically you're gonna have to have everyone with good equipment. So for the characters that you don't use, still buy equipment for them, because the worst thing about it is to go to that place and basically be like, oh crap, I've messed up. So keep that in mind. So now I'm going to talk about the persona abilities and master arts that are in the game. So some personas do have, say, like a hidden property in a sense, where if you do a certain combination, I'll write it out on the screen or whatever, you can do like certain skills. So for example, say you wanted to do charge, right? Instead of wasting SP, you can do this combination and then you still get the charge property, which saves a lot of time of not using your SP items, which can always be used for later on. And essentially, like, you can still deal damage as well to the enemies when you're fighting. However, do know that not every persona has this. So for that charge ability, Mara has it, and I believe there are, I think, a few others, but I'm not too sure. But each persona has a different type of ability that you use for that specific combination. Now, there are other combinations to do other persona skills, but that last combination is what usually gives like the best abilities that are out there. Now, this ties into Master Arts, and Master Arts is a new feature that has been added into the game. So what this allows us to do basically is each character gets a unique set of moves that they can do. So for example, Anne has a property where she can hold like a flame charge in a whip and essentially burn people with it. So say for example, you're facing like Jack Frost or something, you can easily just wipe them out because you're still doing like fire damage to them. Ryuji has one where he gains a bit more strength. Same thing with Sophia as well. Each character has a different type of master arts, and in order to level them up, you basically have to keep doing that same master arts combination over and over again, which doesn't take too long, but you know, it will take slightly long if you're trying to go for like 100% completion in the game. Now on to the final topic, difficulty. Now we all know Persona difficulty is really not that challenging, especially if you know how to break the game, which has been evident in some people's playthroughs. However, in this game you have easy, normal, hard at the start of the game, and risky is only unlocked after you finish the game for the first time. Now there's a good reason why risky is not there for the start. It will be probably called merciless in English anyway. Now in terms of enemies, playing on easy, normal or hard, enemies have their usual weaknesses. However, say for example you're facing Orthus, right, the fire dog. In previous games, if you use fire, it will drain it, but on these difficulties it won't drain it, it will just resist it a bit more, so you'll still do damage but not a lot. However, on risky mode he will actually drain it, so you do have to be careful of what you're using on that mode. Now in terms of damage scaling, easy and normal, you pretty much can breeze through the game without too much trouble. However, on hard mode the enemies are a bit more tanky, and they can still, you know, if you're not careful, they can still easily wipe you out. And as for risky, well, basically if you do mess up, they can wipe you out in like a hit or two pretty much, even if you have like the best gear, because they hit real hard on that mode. But you know, that is to be expected of like an action game when playing on the highest difficulty. One final note for these modes, in terms of XP for general use and the band XP, sorry, not band, bond, keep saying band. Basically on easy, normal, hard you'll gain the same amount regardless, but on risky mode you'll gain a lot more. So if you're going for the platinum trophy, the bond trophy is most likely going to be your last one, as that takes forever to level up. But if you do it on risky mode, you'll most likely get that trophy like when you do your second playthrough. So yeah, that's what I'd say keep in mind when playing on different difficulties. It don't really matter what you do on your first playthrough. Second playthrough, if you obviously go for 100%, you need to play on risky. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's been like a bit awkward for me to do this. It's like the first time doing this whole commentary type video thing. Hopefully it's done well. Hopefully it's helped or give you some thought for like when you play the game in February. If you want me to talk about any other topics, you know, leave a comment, Twitter, you know, the whole social stuff. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in February of this game, or maybe even January, if I get sent an early copy. But yeah, take care everyone.